I'm going to make one statement before we get into our questions and answers. Truly trust yourself. I know so often, the biggest issue really with Shambhala is that you question yourself. You question, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right place? Am I thinking right? Am I eating the right food? There's an awful lot of questioning and doubt. Could you imagine for a moment taking all of the awareness and all of the energy that you spend on questioning yourself and apply that towards giving gratitude to yourself? Yes, all that energy. Did I wake up on the right side of the bed today? Did I read the right book? Maybe I should read other books. Did I say things right? And mostly, did I think things right? We're going to dispel that whole thing about thinking today. We're going to go way beyond that, because that gets you so caught, so trapped in things, that thinking, and you'll still be thinking, but you'll have a new tool. All that time that you spend questioning, did I do the right thing in this lifetime? Did I take the right job? Did I take my vacation at the right time? All those things, let them go. Let them go. The answer is very, very simple. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot. You cannot. You can try, and sometimes you can be in emotional or physical pain, but you actually can't make a mistake. And that's not just a nice metaphorical, metaphysical saying. I mean that. You cannot. You can't not read the right books or go to the right places or any of that. You cannot. You have something so ingrained in you that's far beyond any of your human capabilities, the human self capabilities. So deep within you, it is going to guide you there in spite of the human. And that's often the challenge. Often the challenge is that the human thinks, well, it should be this way. But that divine guidance system is going to bring you there. You're going to find that you'll be a lot less tired, a lot less stressed out, a lot less befuddled if you just realize you can't make a mistake. You can't. So don't even try not to make mistakes. Enjoy life. It comes to you. It comes to you. That's the one thing you're going to really realize this year. It just comes to you. So stop the questioning. Stop the doubting. You cannot make a mistake. Isn't that such a wonderful release? You cannot make a mistake. You really can't. It's so very simple. That frees you to actually enjoy life, to be in life. I am that I am, Adamus of sovereign domain. Let's take a deep breath, dear Shambhala. Remember that this is the most special time for you. I hear your talk of how difficult it is, the thoughts and the emotions, what's going through your body, everything being turned upside down, but this is the most special of times. You'll only do this once, this transformation from human into the divine self, into the realization of the I am, just once. Certainly you can go back and revisit it later, going through time and space, but it won't be like what you're experiencing right now. Painful, emotional, challenging, yes. Transformational, beautiful, passionate, yes. Don't be in such a hurry to get out of this, what you consider mess, difficulty, challenge. Stop for a moment, if you would, right now, to consider what you're going through, no matter what your health or relationship status is, no matter what your finances are, no matter if you are exhausted to the bone. Stop for a moment. Look what you're doing. Yeah, you. Look what you're doing. What you're experiencing. And the beautiful thing is, and I can tell you this from this stage, and I know it's difficult for you to realize, the beautiful thing is you cannot go wrong in it. You cannot go wrong. Now, that said, I'm going to qualify it by saying it may not go right according to your human concept of it, your human expectations. But from the divine, from the soul, from the I am, you can't go wrong. That would lead one to believe that it's time to let go of some of the human expectations. Yes. To allow something greater. Have you ever had one of those moments where something happens and you think, I couldn't have planned it any better if I had tried? Somehow it worked out so well beyond what I could have planned it. How does that happen? So often when that does happen, you give credit to some angelic influence, assistance. No, it was you that did it. When that happens, it's because you've allowed you to go beyond just you into who you truly are. And then amazing things happen, miracles happen. I can tell you this, and you're not going to necessarily believe it, but just do it. Just trust yourself. Even when you think it's wrong, it's still right. It really is. Even when you think, oh, I turned the wrong way, I did the wrong thing. Look at Yeshua, for an example. Had romance one night under the stars, got a little carried away, couldn't keep it in the robe, and suddenly, it blew his whole career of being a teacher at the Yahad. It messed it up. Oh, did he feel bad? Oh, geez, I hate that thing down there. Look, it got me in so much trouble. It was actually divine because it got him out of that commune, got him out of that community. Oh my God, that it was so boring there. And then when his first wife died, his only wife died, and it was all the feelings of guilt. I should have been able to heal her. I should have known the right herbal chant to do or whatever. And God, didn't listen to me, so I must be a sinner. How hard that was on him. But yet it was divine. That got him out of the community. That got him off learning. That was you. That was the Christ seed at work. And you think it was easy for Yeshua to trust himself? Say, oh yeah, that's exactly the way I planned it. Yeah. Threw me out of the place, and my wife dies, and my life is ruined. But oh, sure, that's me. I'm a creator. But actually, he was. There was enough built-in remedies in case he got stuck in this really boring community. There's enough built-in remedies. Even the angst that he went through that caused him to start his search. What else would have done it at the time? Sometimes, am I talking too much? No. Good, because I'm going to keep talking. That even as difficult as it was with the death of his wife, that was not an accident, so to speak. And if he had trusted himself, he'd have understood the wisdom. If he had trusted himself, she would have never died, actually. So a lot of things that happen don't have to happen. Jesus did not have to die on the cross if enough people had trusted themselves. Wouldn't have had to happen that way. A lot of things in your life won't have to happen if you trust yourself. If you absolutely, emphatically, I got nothing else in my life, trust yourself. It will change the experience. The outcome, the end result, still going to be the same, enlightenment. I would say most of you have made a commitment to it. You got a pretty good shot at it in this lifetime. Pretty good chance. At least a 3% chance in this lifetime. That was a joke. You have a 100% chance. Yeah. There's that potential. Most of you seriously have an excellent potential for realization. I don't even want to call it enlightenment, realization in this lifetime. If you trust yourself, push other people's buttons. But I digress. What was my point? Here we are in enlightenment. Ever since you were infused, ever since you integrated your essence into this physical body in this lifetime, it has been about enlightenment. Everything. You can look back. You can write down the history of this lifetime. It's all been about enlightenment. And the funny thing is, it's funny to me, but not to you. The funny thing is that there were no mistakes. Yeah. The funny thing is, you couldn't make a mistake if you tried. The funny thing is, you pretend that you can make mistakes and that you still can. You pretend that there's these choices out there, and door number one is a real bastard. Door number two is kind of not so good, but it's relatively safe. Door number three could be amazing insights, but it could also drop you into the pits of hell forever, like an eternity, forever. So you pretend you've accepted some vast consciousness programming that you can make a mistake. Guess what? You can't. You really can't. You can't. You can actually, I've said this before, you can actually set your rudder for a direction you know is not right, you know is not compatible with your being, intentionally. And guess what? It's just going to get redirected over to your true path. Your true path, by the way, is not your nice girl or nice boy path. And you got that kind of screwed into there, that you have to make the choice that's the nice thing, be the nice boy or the nice girl. It's not. Sometimes in enlightenment, it just is not pretty. It's not nice. It's others won't like you at times. But it is the right choice for yourself. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you. Because mass consciousness wants certain conformities, wants you to do things a certain way. A lot of your parents wanted you to just be a nice kid and then take care of them when they got old. Your teachers wanted you to be nice. Why? Well, it's easier for them. So a lot of choices were made on this basis of being nice, doing the right thing, the nice thing. Let's take a deep breath. Last month, we talked about freedom. Oh, we're just going to talk about freedom until you're free, damn it. Yes. We talked about freedom, and I made a remark as I was walking off the stage, if you call this a stage. I made a remark. What did I say? What did I say about freedom? Forgiveness. And many of you scratched your head or got on the message board and got into your intellectual bullshit. Macchio, I'm sorry. I really meant to say macchio, not bullshit. You say bullshit, I say macchio. You got into intellectual macchio about it. What did he mean? And what is this whole thing with forgiveness? I said that on purpose to irritate you, believe it or not. Forgiveness. But there was a lot of truth in it. Forgiveness. To be free, it's important to forgive yourself. Not in the old Catholic or parochial way. Sorry, Pope. Not in an old religious way where you run around suffering your forgiveness. Not at all. True forgiveness is saying, that wasn't me. Sorry, looked like me, sounded like me. It actually wasn't, believe it or not. That was not me that did that. That was not me that was offensive, abusive, or whatever else. That was not me that gambled away our house payment. Really wasn't. Truly wasn't. That's forgiveness. Oh, I'm getting that look from Linda, that look of, Now here we come to an energetic crash. Because most of you are good with this, but some of you are not. You're saying, what? Now he's gone too far. Saying it wasn't me. Yeah, of course it was me. And I have to suffer for it. And I have to make amends. And I have to learn why this was bad. And I have to do all of this karma for it. Really? Okay. Have fun. Bye. There's another spiritual group. The one I didn't go to. You can go to them. Because here, in this group, forgiveness is easy as saying, that wasn't me. And then it's done. Can you do that? Yes. Let me ask again. I got to ask 3 times. Can you do that? Yes. Wow. I thought it would be muddled when you said that the second time. Let me ask a 3rd time. Can you do that? Yes. Wow. I'm amazed. Wow, Obama might win after all. But it doesn't matter, does it? Tomorrow might be different than today. So, the point, the moral of the story is, that's the simplified version of forgiveness. It wasn't me. It was an aspect. It was yesterday. I'm not going to carry around that old luggage, emotional, physical, painful luggage anymore. Now, something triggers here. Old programming. It's in the matrix. It's been programmed in. I can't do that. No. Because if I do that, if I am that irresponsible, what if I go back to drinking again? What if I go back to abusing people? I made a vow to myself, never, ever. What if I am so cavalier that I just say, that wasn't me? Am I delusional? Am I irresponsible that I can just shirk it off like that without feeling it deeply, without penance, without anything other than giving Adamus some money, $10. Can I do that? That is freedom. That's a tough one. And most of you aren't going to do it. You'll think about it, you'll laugh, you'll kind of say, oh, what a great idea, and you're going to talk to your friends tonight. Say, oh,
I have a question.
I didn't think it was Q&A time yet.
I have a question. You said every word except responsibility. What about responsibility?
What about it?
Does that play into it at all? Some people just take responsibility. It's not just about feeling like they have to pay penance, just merely taking responsibility.
Actually, this is all part of the pre-scripted discussion. She interrupts me, and I act a little offended. Adamus? I'm a master with my own podium. You cannot interrupt me. Take that.
Phew!
For those of you watching the first time that are still here, this is a Crimson Circle special program. Responsibility. That's an interesting question, and I'm going to put it right back on all of you. What's more responsible? What is more responsible? Walking around with that backpack filled with yesterday. Is that responsible? Walking around with who you used to be? No, it's a lot of things, but it's not responsible. And if you are going to start taking responsibility for your soul, which you haven't, you pretended it was somewhere else, which I'll talk about in a moment. If you're going to take responsibility for your soul, I contend, I'm not saying you have to believe, but I contend that responsibility starts right now by understanding it actually really wasn't you, and I can prove it. It was the net result of old programming. Hypnosis, past life BS, in things that were inflicted by teachers, parents, mostly yourself though, and mostly programming. So, What is more responsible, I ask? To continue with the old programming, or to stop right now and say, that really was not me. That was a lot of things, but that was not me. I'm not going to blame it on a conspiracy because suddenly I'm in a very, very bad energy dynamic. And if I blame it on a conspiracy, I'm allowing somebody else to have control over me. I would say that even if a conspiracy did exist, and there's been a few little ones over the ages, and they still exist in Rome, even if they... I didn't say what it was, so please don't have any preassumed notions, church. But never give your power to a conspiracy. And the moment you do, the moment you're in that duality, you're in that dynamic. You are no longer a sovereign being. You are now part of the conspiracy because they need their victims, and you need your perpetrators.
Big.
Let go of any conspiracy if you're sovereign. Or if you like the game, that's a fun game for a while. If you like the game, into it. Now, where were we? We were talking about responsibility. Thank you for asking that predetermined question. We had to do something to smack the energy around a little bit. That's a good question, though. Responsibility. Is it more responsibility to carry your past, which really isn't your past, you're going to see? Because your past is not what you think it is. Your past is a series of potentials, most of which have never been realized or understood. None of them, or very few of them, actually manifested. But you believe it's your past because of programming. But your past can be changed the moment you say, that was not my past. Suddenly, your past really isn't a series of chronological, linear events that took place. Suddenly, your past is no longer history or his story. Suddenly, the past is but one of many potentials or options that could have been played out. And now, literally, the moment you release yourself from your past, you suddenly realize how you can also change it tomorrow. That was a mouthful. Yeah. Forgiveness. That's why I threw this out there, forgiveness. Going so far as to say, wasn't me. That's forgiveness. Not forgiveness like, I am so sorry I did this to you, and I was terrible, and I was such a bum, and I was a bad husband, I was a bad mother. That is suffering. That is karma. That is really a lot of bad energy feeding. And that's beating on yourself. True forgiveness is saying, was not me. Show me the pictures. I don't care what proof you have. That wasn't me. It really wasn't. And then you stop for a moment and say, this is me. Watch this. And then they start laughing, of course. Woo, woo. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because you're saying it to yourself, not to them. It's just like our dream walk the other day. This is me. This is my presence, my radiance, my I am that I am. This is me. It's always been me, actually. It has always been me. It's just been polluted with a lot of other stuff, which really wasn't me. A lot of old ideas, a lot of outdated and stale dreams, a lot of going along with mass consciousness. I really didn't want to. That wasn't me. This is me. I am that I am. So our experience of walking out into the other realms, we gathered a group because you thought we were going to go do some rescue shit. But let's call a spade a spade. It was fun. But really, my dear friends, we were doing something much different. We were practicing being in our radiance. practicing under extreme conditions in the earthbound realms on Halloween Day, practicing being there in the I am that I am, attracting parts of yourself tomorrow, which is the same as today, to come take a look at the new light that's shining, the new freedom. Let's take a deep breath. Deep breath for that. I've got Calder all choked up. Deep breath. And I go one step further. You're doing this, not me. You are really doing this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here listening, taking part, laughing, applauding. Because it truly is you. Thank you. And Pete, finally, would you hand the microphone to Pete? Pete, your answer for this. What is the thing that you worried about the most? Okay, thank you. That was a good answer. And would you put that on the board, please? So, Pete's saying maybe I should say this out loud. You couldn't hear Pete? A little louder, Pete. Yeah, that's not working, Pete. Pete's answer is that he worried the most about whether he was doing it right. That was his biggest worry. Am I doing it right? In the eyes of other people, or how you see yourself through other people. Am I doing it right in terms of, am I controlling myself enough, to keep my health and my finances? In terms of, am I doing it right? Or also, what am I doing wrong? My energy level's low. What am I doing wrong? And then you try to think your way into all this, and it doesn't work. It does not work. And that's what Pete means when he says, live well or leave. That's it. He spent, as many of you spend, a tremendous amount of time worrying, am I doing it right? Whether it's spirituality, whether it's your job, whether it's your health, whether it's aging or anything else, am I doing it right? There is no right. There is not anymore. Not for you. There's right, maybe right and wrong for people out there. But you get to this point, and there's nothing about right or wrong anymore. It's a very difficult thing because your mind will scream out. Your mind will almost insist because it's used to judgment-based life, right and wrong. You get to this point, and it's a very frustrating one. You want to do it right, or you want to you want to do so many things right. You want this thing called enlightenment or embodied realization because you know it's there, but you don't know if you're doing it right or not. And then there's that desperate attempt by the human to try to do it right. It cannot. And I want you to remember that point until it's so realized within you. It cannot. That human cannot at all.